All right, West Virginia fans, what a wild and wonderful Tuesday night. I mean, it was just nuts between the basketball team clashing against a old Big East foe and getting a very tough win at home. And then all the football news that broke today, it was just absolutely nonstop. To talk about it with me today, I have a friend of the show. He's on probably once or twice a week now at this point. Uh, Reporter of the Daily Athenaeum, NJ.com, your favorite New Jerseyan, Amit Batra. Amit, how are we doing tonight?
Doing well, man. It was a fun game tonight. A lot of back and forth, but hey, gritty win. Gritty win.
Yeah, you use the word gritty. I'll use a different term. Listen, a win's a win. Amit, to start off, how bad did this basketball team need this win tonight?
Yeah, big time. I mean, the Big 12 is no joke, as they learned the other night against Iowa State. So yeah, I mean, it was we talked about it being a winnable game. Being that Cincinnati is a team that's lost to Eastern Michigan. They have played some solid teams pretty well, but it was absolutely, you're at home. You get one of your guys back in Lorient that we didn't have the other night. So yeah, I mean, I think West Virginia definitely needed this win for sure, and they found a way to get it done, which is all that matters.
Yeah, absolutely. And you looked at the teams going into this one. We previewed this one a little bit last night, quickly before we got off the show, and it was such a winnable game, especially with Kirk Kriisa out for them tonight, which is we didn't get a chance to have a reunion with him. Maybe next time we play them. But we played a lot of common opponents and we had some very similar scores. So I think if we would have lost that game, I think the fan base would have been totally gone. I think you would have no juice for the game Saturday versus Kansas. Now, if you look at it, Amit, this team now is 6-8. Six for the last 8 versus um, Cincinnati, right?
Yep.
You're 1-1 in the league now. And like we said yesterday, this sets up nicely for Saturday now. Maybe this takes the monkey off the back a little bit, right? Because this was the first win that we had over a major program, a Power Four program since the Pitt win. So do you think this alleviates a little pressure off the basketball team now that we finally got this win and this monkey off of their back?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, you're not playing some of the teams that they were, cruising past. So, I mean, the competition is going to get real now every single night. So, yeah, I mean, and just, the way that they were able to win, it didn't always look pretty. It was a lot of back and forth. I mean, they were up 13, in the first half. And, it was kind of concerning when Cincinnati started coming back and obviously took the lead. And, Trace and Eagle staff, I mean, we've talked about him a bunch, this year. Kudos to him, man. That turnaround three with the shot clock winding down, probably the biggest play of the game. I mean, he deserves all the credit tonight as well. I mean, Honor Huff, great job bouncing back. And then Chance Moore, once again in the second half, especially did, some great things. So having those three in double figures tonight was big time.
Trey Edwards said that was the same game on repeat from last year, a game we should have lost in the end. Yeah, I think if they would have lost this game, Trey, I think just putting it to this year's team, just not being able to close out games and panicking during closeout time, and they almost did it again.
Oh
They
man.
they had a 5-point lead with what 11 seconds left in the game. We have an inbound pass. All we have to do is touch the ball. That's all we have to do. They intercept the ball. They throw a prayer. I mean, if that would have went in, we would have had a completely different show tonight.
Absolutely, man. That I was like, no way, please, like, because you never know. It was like typical like West Virginia fashion, but it didn't go in, thankfully. But yeah, I mean, it was. I like the idea. I think he was just trying to get the ball, down the court. It was a smart play. It just didn't work out. Wasn't executed well. So, yeah, thankfully that didn't go in.
Nathan Brooks said grad transfer Malachi Hood just committed. Yeah, I know. I'm aware. I have the graphic ready. We're going to talk about him tonight. That news broke 2 minutes before the basketball game ended. Chris Anderson tweeted that out. So I appreciate you letting me know. But I did follow it. I did put it together real quick. We're going to talk about him tonight. So stay tuned for that. We're definitely going to talk a lot of football tonight. Too. WVU Scoop, he's been talking to me a lot here. He said, Trey, what's up, my boy? So a lot of friends in here. He said, "What's up, Scoop?" All good stuff, man. Let's get back into what we have here. So, field goal percentage tonight, West Virginia shot 46%, which is pretty good. 22 for 48. 3-pointers. Dude, Honor Huff had one of those special nights again tonight, Amit.
Yeah, especially in the first half, he had it going. We know, like, once he starts getting it going, I mean, he could go on and on. And yeah, it was a great bounce back performance from him. Obviously, he struggled against Iowa State the other night, so needed him to be special, and he was. I mean, he's definitely a scoring threat. Obviously, led the nation last year in threes. So, yeah, great performance from him. And then even in the second half, when he wasn't going like the first half, Chance Moore did some good things once again. Much needed baskets, and then Eagle staff at the end, with some big points, obviously. So, yeah, I mean, I think having those 3 double figures was huge.
Yeah, you texted me during the game and you're like, dude, can Chance Moore and Honor just bring it home for us?
Yeah.
And I think Chance Moore, I think he's really earned a lot of respect from the West Virginia fans. I feel comfortable with the ball in his hands, and I wish almost that they can get him the ball in scoring situations more because I just trust him. He's the guy that can get to the rim the best out of anybody on the team. So Chance Moore is definitely a huge important piece. It's almost kind of crazy to think that we played the first 5 games without him this year.
Yeah, and he made a big 3, which, I mean, that's not his game as well. So nice to see him get some perimeter shots going as well. So also like what I saw from DJ Thomas. I think he's a nice freshman. I think he's only going to get better. Him and Amir, both of those
Yeah, I was
guys.
going to say, Amir, just the silver linings. I mean, there is no silver linings. We won the game. I mean, hell yeah, let's take the win. But I do think, just watching it, you can see Amir and Thomas have a lot of poise and promise for a long time. So if you can retain those guys going into next year, those are going to be 2 pieces, especially with the recruiting class that you have coming in, to really build something special here for Ross Hodge, because you don't want to rebuild with 15 players every year, obviously. So I think that was good. I mean, we're turning the ball over a little bit more than my liking. I mean, we turned the ball over 15 times tonight. We're kind of just getting sloppy a little bit with the ball.
Yeah, I thought there were careless turnovers too. Yeah, definitely want to see that number under 10. So yeah, that was one of the things that I think they need to work on, as well as some of these scoring droughts. Obviously we mentioned they're up 13, and then Cincinnati goes on a run, and it's a game of runs for sure, but there are moments where the scoring is just not coming. So good thing that Honor, Chance, and Eagle staff did some good things offensively for us, and I'm not sure if all 3 of them have been in double figures in one game for us this year. I was actually thinking about that, but nice to see.
Trey Edwards said pipeline for Huddy Tuddy coming back to Morgantown. That'd definitely be interesting if he came back. Is he in the portal officially yet? I haven't seen anything. So if Huddy Tuddy is in the portal, let us know for sure. Back to the basketball. Another problem, Amit, that tonight was, just not to be negative because it is a win, and we'll talk about some positives, but 2 things that are hurting this team right now is we have no presence down low at all. Yep. I mean, no offense to Harlan Obioa, but he just doesn't play like a 7-footer. He doesn't have that big physical presence that he should play with. And tonight, what almost lost us the game and what got Cincinnati back in the game was Cincinnati crashing the glass and getting offensive rebounds, and the second chance points really kept them in this game tonight.
Yeah, it was difficult, and then they were kicking it out to get some threes. To start the game, Cincinnati was extremely cold, but they were getting good looks. But then, they got some offensive boards, were able to kick it out, get some threes, and I agree. Obioa, he missed a layup early on. That was pretty open. So I would like to see him just more aggressive, or even getting in that 8 to 10 point range. Time to time. I think that would be huge. Yeah, I mean, he's a 7-footer. He's bigger than most guys out there. So would like to see a little bit more.
Let's take it. So we led the game for most of it. I mean, it was tied for 3 minutes. But if you can look at the graphic here, we were in control for most of this game, 31 minutes to 5 minutes. Like I said, man, if we would have lost this game, it would have spoiled some of the other stuff that happened today in Morgantown, which I told Amit, I'm more excited to talk about the football thing than I am the basketball. It felt like when we got the Cam Cook news today, me and my kids, man, they're 4-2. We were going nuts in the basement, just having fun, shooting basketballs. I'm like, no matter what happens tonight, I'm in a good mood. But this one would have spoiled it a little bit because, as someone who does a show and follows the Mountaineers, it's fun to do this stuff when they're winning, right? Yeah. And I love a good Saturday matchup when West Virginia's in a Big 12 matchup and my dad's over, we're watching the game. Like my whole weekend revolves around that college basketball game. And you guys know who watched this. When West Virginia is in a tournament hunt and they're legit, your Saturdays are better when you watch the Mountaineers. You get up for those games. When you are going through the dead of winter like we are now, and the basketball team's struggling, it makes winter longer, and it's just brutal. You don't want to fast forward to baseball season yet, So hopefully this team can keep winning, and now that they've got the monkey off of their back, they can continue to build off this. Let's look at some individual stats a minute. Boom, 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 right here. So Lorient came back tonight, but really slow start for him. Only had 2 points tonight, I think I see from him. Honor Huff had 24, which he just continues to do what he does. The one didn't even count. The one it was a dead ball, and he banked it in off of the thing. Eagle Staff, let's give him some credit.
Absolutely.
10 points, but started off with two long shots in the beginning of the game, and then had some really clutch plays at the end of it.
Yeah, I mean, he had some good baskets to start the game, battled through some foul trouble. Yeah, and he also had 7 rebounds, which is great. But yeah, obviously, probably had the biggest play of the game with that turnaround 3. It looked like he was trying to find one of his teammates. I think he was trying to look for Honor, and probably realized the shot clock is coming down, and hey, just threw up a prayer, or maybe he just had confidence in shooting that. Who knows? But hey, big play. Deserves all the credit tonight. Obviously, he's battled through some things against some good competition this year. So great to have for him to have this moment.
If he can ever get it going, man, it would be if him and Honor one night just had it going. And then Harlan OBO is 0 points. That's an issue. I was thinking during the game, especially with what's happened in college basketball recently, why can't we get someone from like the G League or the D League, whatever you call it, that has some eligibility? Can't we just get some like 7'5" dude who has somehow eligibility and just plug and play? That would change like the whole direction
35,
of the season.
36 years old.
Yeah.
Right.
That'd be great. Maybe Sagaba Kanate has some eligibility left. That'd be great. That'd be fun. I don't know. I just miss having like a lethal big man, man. You think about some of the big men that we had that were just like no nonsense. You are not going to score on me, and I'm going to score on you.
Devin Williams. Yeah.
Culver, down low, Sagaba Kanate. I just miss those guys. No offense to Harlan. I think he's trying his best, but if we're looking for a portal need next year, big man will probably help there. Chance Moore, 14 points. Really like his game. I think he seems calm and composed. And any last things about basketball before we wrap this one up?
No, I think it was just a solid win, much needed win. Obviously, it gives the team some confidence. It's a hell of a lot better being 1-1 in the Big 12 than 0-2. So, some confidence going into Saturday against Kansas. Hopefully, it's a packed house in the Coliseum for that one. And I think fans should travel to that game because you're. For one thing, you're going to see a top 3 pick in the lottery with Darren Peterson from Kansas, and then I think it's also a winnable game. Kansas, like we talked about last night, they're not that dominant force, this year, so it's a winnable game. Let's see what happens.
I think the Kansas game could be a swing game for the rest of the season.
Yeah,
totally. You take care of home court, you do what you have to do, you win that game. It could catapult the team to a good one. Unfortunately, I do think if we're being honest, we're limited by our roster. I mean, we have the same issues. This isn't a one-off. We know our issues on the roster, right? We have inconsistent shooting sometimes, and we don't have a big man presence that's going to hurt us. But at least make the season fun. At least give us a chance and hope that we can maybe make a run at least making a bid. WVU Scoop said he's trying to play like a point forward. In my opinion, he's a 7-foot big man. Like, where are you going to put your body to work? Leah said we need more height next season. Then he came back and said we have a 7-footer. Imagine Bob Huggins with the 7-footer. That would have been interesting. Trey Edwards said I think he'd be better running with the second team. Chance plays a lot bigger. And Eric Flowers, he said we covered the spread nail biter.
Yeah, that's right. It was a 1.5. Yeah.
Eric Flowers, man, he always lets us know what his plays are. So that's great, man. That's awesome, Eric. You're a longtime listener, so we appreciate you. All right, guys, we have a lot of people in the chat, a lot of people in the comments. What do you guys say we get to the football news now, the exciting stuff, the stuff that we're all giddy about today, right? And this news that broke, Cam Cook. I saw Mike Kazaza broke the news today, which was exciting because we talked about him last night, Amit. And we said, there was rumblings that he was on a visit. Was he not on a visit? It was reported. It wasn't reported. We heard rumblings today that he was at Tennessee. I think Mike Osti said that he canceled a visit at Tennessee.
Yep.
So West Virginia probably gave him an offer that he could not refuse. And he's officially a West Virginia Mountaineer.
Yeah, a huge get, obviously. Yeah, I was seeing the reports as well of him being at Tennessee. I said that to you earlier today, and kind of just weird how everything just changes, in a flash here. But hey, great get for West Virginia. I think he adds some leadership in that room. And obviously had a tremendous year last year with 1,600 yards, which led the FBS, 5.6 yards per carry, 16 touchdowns, great numbers. And then you talk about the missed tackles, which you see the little pointer there, 100 missed tackles, which is phenomenal. And we saw that in the highlights last night. So I think tremendous get for West Virginia, a lot to be excited about.
Kansas actually losing right now to TCU. So interesting
Yep.
thing. This guy said tough runner. He is a tough runner.
Yep.
He said we need some big beef for Hawkins or Fox. I agree. I think the offensive linemen are going to come. That Johnny Brown guy from Georgia Southern committed to, I think, Louisville today. So he's going to be out for West Virginia. Nathan Brooks said the fact that we beat out Tennessee and Houston for a guy gives me hopes that the money is real. Yeah, I think it is. I think that's not just smoking mirrors. I think Ren Baker's done some good things, and I think we've bought into this team. So that's some good stuff. All right, so I want to show. Let's read Jed Drenning's tweet today, which is very exciting. PFF has been tracking missed tackles, missed forced tackle rate since 2014. That's 12 seasons and thousands of runners. Here are the backs with 100 or more missed tackles in a season. Ashton Genty, pretty good guy, I would say, right? He plays now for the LA Raiders and was a dynamic running back for Boise State. Our boy, Cam Scadaboo, right? So if you guys didn't know, me and Amit, we're big Giant fans. Might talk some Giants tomorrow a little bit on our show. Talk a little bit about it tomorrow. So tomorrow, if just a heads up, if you guys want to watch tomorrow, we're going to probably take we'll talk West Virginia a little bit on it, but it's mainly going to be a college football semi-preview. Me and Amit are going to talk about that. We'll have another guest on there. So we might mention the Giants a little bit. So don't get mad at us if you're not a Giants fan, but we're huge Giant fans. We love Cam Scadaboo. That's my son, my 2-year-old's favorite player. So that's great. And you guys, Scadaboo is really good. And then you got Cam Cook, who's now a Mountaineer. Guys, we're going to be breaking tackles all the time in Morgantown, it seems like.
Yeah, that's a good list to be a part of for sure. And yeah, seeing his highlights last night, I was watching that. It's impressive what he's able to do as far as missed tackles. So yeah, I think a lot to be excited about. Great get for West Virginia, and Rich Rod's cooking.
W Scoop, you're the man. Thank you again, man. The super chats rolled in a little bit last night, so I really appreciate it. I was telling my wife I was so excited that I got some, and I was like, babe, I made $50. This is great, So WV Scoop, I appreciate it. He said, been attacked by Vol burners all evening. It's been so worth it. Let's go. So funny story. Me and Amit were both at that game in Charlotte in 2018. They were the most overconfident underdog I've seen in my entire life. I remember we were 10.5-point favorites going into that one, and I've never felt more confident going into a season opener ever. I mean, we had Will Greer, David Sills, we had David Long, we had all those boys, man. We had like 7 NFL draft guys, and we had so much camaraderie in that team and everybody back. And I remember we were a 10.5-point favorite, and I think it was Jeremy Pruitt's first game.
Yep.
It was hot as hell down there in Charlotte.
Oh yeah.
And I remember the Tennessee fans were in line. They're like, y'all actually think that you're gonna win this game? I'm like, dude, I'm not sure if you follow like football, but like we're 10.5-point favorites and we have a Heisman contender on our team. You have Jared Guamantamlo from New Jersey who's trash. So and then when we beat them, it was glorious. I'll never forget. I was sitting up there up in the stands and we put 40 on him. It was like 40-14. And the Tennessee fans did not want to hear it. Like I remember like we were singing Country Roads.
Oh yeah.
And they were saying some nasty things to us. They were not happy that they took the L. So thanks to Cam Cook, Tennessee fans took an L today. and they're not getting this guy because this guy, he is the real deal. I mean, any funny memories about that Tennessee game?
Yeah, I just remember they were in a rebuild and everything like that, and they were so confident. I'm like, man, they're part of the SEC, blah blah blah. But it was like, yeah, you're the underdog here, and I felt good at going into that game and just hearing Country Roads in that stadium at the end and just seeing everything was just unbelievable. And it was a fun season overall. Having Will Greer, David Sills, Jennings, all those guys. So a lot of fun. And yeah, great memory for sure.
Trey Edwards, thank you too, man. Another $5, man. I appreciate it, man. You guys have no idea how much that means to me. Yeah, that 2018, bring me back. Me and Amit always we like to talk about the glory days, and 2018 was truly like the best vibes. That one of the better vibes. Me and I don't think anything will beat our first couple of years when we were there. When we saw Gino and Tavon win an Orange Bowl, we missed the glory days of West Virginia a little bit. Because we were in high school still when Pat White was there. But it is, hopefully with the players that we have here, guys, we can start getting back to those good memories. Because I know you guys miss it. I know we do. And we want a team to be proud of. With that being said,
they were playing Rocky Top so much during.
That's a great song. Listen, that's a great song. Have you guys ever heard? If you're a true West Virginia fan, you've heard the Morgantown version of that song, the Morgantown song. That's a great song. I love playing that for people who've never heard that before. The Morgantown Rocky Top version, the Morgantown song. If you've never heard that, go and do yourself and YouTube that. That's a great song. So in honor of Cam Cook committing today, what we're going to do is I showed his highlights last night. I'm going to show his Instagram highlights today. No, I'm not going to show like the full like gameplay highlights. Let's just get hyped to watch his highlight video and celebrate the commitment of Cam Cook. Here we go. Just a guy that, just has the swagger. He's just like, I'm going to run through some dude's face today, and they're not going to be able to tackle me. And he has some nice juke moves too here.
Yeah.
He's going to look so much better in a West Virginia uniform than a Jack State uniform. Yeah, just get off me. You're not going to tackle me. I just like how he gets north and south.
Oh, yeah.
And this is going to be like a great guy for like Latimer to learn behind too,
For sure.
I just think like this guy, like the fans like are just going to, it's almost like the Fred Perry on offense, right? Where like this guy's going to resonate with the fan base of how he runs through people. And same thing with Hawkins. If Hawkins does see the field, I'm not saying he's going to start, but you saw how he puts his body in the line. It just seems like the guys that we're trying to recruit really do match the culture of Rich Rod just based on what we're seeing here.
Hard edge. Yeah.
Hard edge. Spot the ball, hold the rope.
Yeah.
Just win some games.
Yeah, just win some games.
Yeah, this guy, man, I'm so excited for next season. Truly. I mean, this is just we have the nation's leading rusher. West Virginia landed the nation's leading rusher today. So that's very exciting for sure. Other comments. Let's get to the comments real quick. I'm a 19-year-old man. Rod left when I didn't really get to see Gino. So here's some young bucks. I'm 19, man. Rod left when I was 1 and didn't really get to see Gino and Tavon. Greer was the golden days. Yeah, it's funny. You say that. Me and Amit are in our 30s. So we both graduated from West Virginia in like 2014 and 2015. So we've been out for 10 years now. So I feel bad for the young West Virginia fans. I know Coop's a young West Virginia fan, and he's only seen so much stuff. So it does get better, man. Like, truly, like we're Jersey guys, so we weren't born West Virginia fans by any means. But as an outsider, the brand of West Virginia was so strong when we were growing up that when you were a kid from Jersey and you saw schools, what the West Virginia brand, just their campus lifestyle and the football team, it was the place to be. And that's why I get so defensive up here trying to defend the brand of West Virginia, because I love my university, my alma mater so much. And it has fallen and the brand has taken a hit. So hopefully, like I mentioned, that the younger fans, you guys don't lose hope, because when West Virginia and Morgantown is rolling, it is so magical and the whole state really buys in. So Hopefully you guys get some stuff. I'm not even old enough to enjoy a football game. Pretty soon, pretty soon you will be. You can enjoy the blue lot, I'm sure. I'm a big NCAA football video game fan, by the way. And the first thing I did, I was like, what is this guy's NCAA rating? 91 overall, Mitt. 91 speed, 93 acceleration, break tackles a 90. Dude, it's gonna be fun next year to run this offense with him next year in NCAA football, Mitt.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And yeah, I mean, just his ability to break tackles and just seeing those clips, man, it gets you excited. So and then, just having some leadership in that room. We talk a little bit about the running back room. It's a little young, right? So just having somebody who's experienced and can be that leader, I think is also huge.
Eric Flowers said, you guys are from NJ for sure. You graduated 2014, 10 years ago. Yeah, I graduated 15. Admit you were 14, right?
14, yeah. So, man, 12 years almost. That's crazy.
Yeah, my last football season there was the Clint Trickett year. We beat Baylor. That was the last year. So we beat Baylor. We played Alabama that year. Skylar Howard took over for Clint at the end of the year. That was my last year.
My last year we went 4-8, and
I'm so glad that wasn't my last year. I'm so glad I got to come back. Because there's some cool stuff. College game day came for the TCU game. We played Alabama. Like it was an exciting season. Mary Alford was good. All right, let's get to another commit that broke, and you guys talked about this earlier. Malachi Hood is going to be joining the West Virginia Mountaineers. This broke literally 2 minutes before the basketball game ended. So I thought I had the show prepped and everything was good. I'm like, I can relax and just watch into the game. No, this broke. So Chris Anderson broke this. Said Malachi Hood, Illinois linebacker, is transferring to West Virginia. He started for Illinois this past season. So, guys, we're getting a Big Ten linebacker that started, and now he comes to West Virginia. So, as you guys know, Ben Bogle randomly today decided to hit the portal, and I actually tweeted at whoever tweeted it, and I was like, maybe he knows something's happening behind the scenes. That was my guess. And here we are. Malachi Hood, he's leaving the Big Ten. He's coming to be a West Virginia Mountaineer. I mean, how big is this for West Virginia?
Yeah, I think it's a nice get. I mean, he's played in all 13 games this year, starting 8. So has some good experience. And then, yeah, I agree. Like I also had a feeling once Bogle went, hit the transfer portal that we were going to get somebody at that position. And I think he's a nice addition to the team.
Eric Flowers, I've never seen Children of the Corn. I've heard stories about that movie, but I have not seen it. I'm going to pass on that one. Up next, we have another commitment today, and I have highlights of this guy, DJ Epps. So he took a 2-day visit, to West Virginia, coming over from Troy. So he the reason we like him, and we talked about this, is his ability to return kicks. He was top 10 in the nation in returning yards this year for Troy. He's a guy that originally walked on to Troy, didn't really see the field much the first 2 years, but this year had a really nice season, 47 balls caught, 512 yards, and 5 tutties. He was also being considered by Kansas, Cincinnati, and Iowa State, so a few other Big 12 schools. Amit, let's watch his highlights and then give me your thoughts on DJ Epps.
Yep.
All right, so this is him versus Texas State. You see he's going to come up here and go get the ball. Again, same here in the end zone. Just gets up and gets it. And this is his his highlight tape here. Again, just his Instagram highlights to kind of get you guys just excited for kind of the type of player we're going to get. Seems like he's pretty fast.
Yeah.
And they said, I was reading online, they said he could play inside and outside. So there's a chance that you could see him play multiple positions in that receiver room, plus the ability to return kicks. I feel like we haven't had an elite return guy in a long time.
Yeah, sure. I think he was 6th nationally as far as kickoff return yardage.
Who was the last elite return guy we had? Like Winston, right?
Probably Winston Wright is one. He had that. I think he had that return against. Was that Bama when he had that return?
No, that was Mario Alford.
That was Alford. Yeah.
Alford, yeah. Shelton Gibson was a very good returner too.
That's right,
for West Virginia. Yep. Shelton Gibson, Tavon Austin, obviously, Mario Alford, Winston Wright. But then since then, we haven't really had like an elite return guy. So this would definitely help with field position and just spark the team there. So that is going to be DJ Epps. Amit, just overall thoughts on him.
Yeah, no, he seems very athletic, great field awareness, and I think, yeah, like you mentioned, it would be nice. It's going to be nice to have somebody back there who can, break one here and there as far as a kickoff return. I don't think we've had a guy like that in a little bit. So, yeah, I mean, he has obviously some great interest. I think he was supposed to actually visit Cincinnati, if I'm not mistaken, later this week. So, nice to grab him while he was available.
I think I think with this speed dating, as they would call it,
Yeah,
for it's important who's first. It's important who you get in front of first, because you never know. Just because a guy has a visit scheduled, these teams are like, I feel like they're almost like car salesmen,
yeah,
and they're like, what's going to make you sign today? What's the price to get you to sign today? Because schools need to know too, if you're in or out. They have other guys. I'm sure, like, this is crazy. I could only imagine what it looks like in there between the players, and just like a rotating door of new players from different schools each day is just nuts. So that's our second commitment. We also had the Strawn kid that committed from USC and Boise State. Really like that kid. So we've lost a bunch of receivers through graduation and the transfer portal, but I think we're doing a nice job initially trying to replace those guys with a different mix of guys and different skill sets. So DJ Epps, guys, he's going to be a Mountaineer. Awesome stuff. Another commitment, kind of, because he's already on the team, is NJ native from Rutherford, New Jersey. Ryan Ward pretty much said today that he is going to come back to the team. So I actually re-quoted his tweet and said NJ native basically says he's coming back, and he actually liked the tweet. So that's a good sign. So it sounds like Ryan Ward, who's one of the only Jersey guys on the team, is going to be back. And I think this is actually a low-key good thing for us, because even though he only had 6 catches last year, he played a lot of football. Grayson Barnes was obviously the tight end receiving threat there. But for him, I think this is a guy that was had a pretty good pedigree coming out of high school, went to UNC originally, and had the touchdown versus Colorado this year.
yep.
What are your thoughts on Ryan Ward coming back to the Mountaineers?
Yeah, no, I think it's great, because I think he's going to take, a major step next year, obviously, as being one of the main guys in that room. So I think, yeah, it's a nice guy to have back. And, I'm always going to be biased with the NJ guys a little bit. So nice to have an NJ guy, back on the team.
WVU Scoop said, yeah, bro, they're building some serious talent over there. They've got they got to get one of the Trickett's linemen out of there, I think. Yeah, hopefully they can. I know the lineman things need to get picked up. We need to get some of those guys in place coming soon. And he said that's a W. Ryan Ward will start. Yeah, Ryan Ward's a good player. Even in like 12 personnel, right? I know West Virginia was linked to a tight end from Ferris State. That I saw today, they offered him, and he is a pass catching tight end. So I'm not sure about that and what's going to happen with that, but we'll have Ryan Ward on board. He's a nice player, and he's a young player that you can kind of develop. So that's exciting. All right, you guys want to get to our post of the night, our X post of the night. I think these are the two best ones I saw today that I can post on this show. I'm a teacher, so I can't post everything I see on X on the show, or I'd probably lose my job as a 4th grade teacher. So I can post these ones though. So this one's from Scotty Fox and JerseyEER, and this is actually posted yesterday before Cam Cook happened. It said, I'm starting a movement. If WVU lands Cam Cook, I will jump into a freezing cold river, record it, and post it, and nominate all the WVU burners to do it. Grab a friend and make it a big thing. This is stolen from the Coal Country podcast, WVU, and his Chris Henry, when he was doing that for Chris Henry, just giving him credit. So whoever Scotty Fox and JerseyEER is, whoever is behind that burner, I think you have some things to do now. You have to go into a river and record it and send it to the other burners, because you have to be a man of your word.
Has to go in the Mon River.
I don't know. When we were there, I don't know if I've ever seen one person ever jump in that river. I think that's like one of the first things they tell you on the visit. You go down there, they're like, all right, here's the mountain layer, here's the Coliseum, here's the PRT. Oh, this is the Mon River, and you don't want to jump in that Mon River. Let me tell you something right now. That's what they tell you. And then the Smoking Musket had a funny one too, because this is how we were all feeling. It says, my only 2 emotions. And it was going nuts about that. I'm guessing that's Cam Vaughn about the Cam Vaughn thing. And then the other one, that was everyone on the first 2 days of the portal, just like sad down in the dumps. They didn't know what to do with themselves because we were sad we weren't getting any good picks. So post of the night, Scotty Fox and JerseyEER and the Smoking Musket. They have some good ones. Sammy said, what I like the most is we are recruiting young. So yeah, we might not have the best year next year, but if we can retain the following year, we should be pretty good. Yeah, I think a lot of people are making the push for 2027. I know people are asked, like, when is the pressure on for Rich Rod? Who knows? I mean, if we keep getting good guys, the pressure could be on. The expectations would be raised. Maybe not the pressure, but the expectations would be raised. But I think that 2027 year is what people are circling. All right, let's get to some guys that West Virginia was linked to. We're gonna go through these quickly and try to get you guys out of here because we've been on for a while. WVU has offered Elon transfer Jesse Powell. He entered the portal. He's 6'4", 215 D-back. He had 65 tackles, 15 tackles, and 4 for a loss, and 1 interception and a forced fumble. He announced today that West Virginia offered. So I'm not sure about a visit for him, but he's a big guy, 6'4". West Virginia's going to be linked to him. He announced today that they offered. Up next, this one's interesting, Amit. Teron Francis. LSU true freshman receiver Teron Francis is officially in the portal, and the following teams are expressing interest per, I think that's his agent: West Virginia, BYU, Utah, Washington State, Wake Forest, and Louisville. 6'1", 207. Amit, he's a 4-star freshman this year, 20th receiver in the class last year. I mean, how big of a get would it be to add a 4-star to the room?
Yeah, no, I think it'll be very nice. I mean, don't always have the 4 stars, so have to beat out. It looks like some Big 12 competition as well, but yeah, nice size. I think this would be nice. I mean, getting a guy from LSU, I'll never complain about that.
Absolutely. And then next, this guy's actually going to be on a visit tomorrow. Joe Pierce. So Joe Pierce said yet on his Twitter today that he's going to be visiting West Virginia tomorrow. Another young guy. He's 6'1", 200 pounds. Out of high school, he was a 3-star. Or sorry, no, that's not high school. Out of the transfer portal, he's a 75th ranked safety with a 3-star and 85 grade. So tomorrow, Mitt, Joe Pierce, Oklahoma State Cowboy, didn't play there this year as a freshman, but he's going to be checking out West Virginia tomorrow.
Yeah, it looks like he has 17 offers. Wow.
Yeah, out of high school, he had 17 offers. That's Penn State, West Virginia, and Kentucky, and several others. So listen, I know we don't like Penn State on this show, but they are a very talented program, and if they're recruiting you, that means you can play. So this guy can obviously play. Oklahoma State historically is a team that can play, so be on the lookout for this one tomorrow. He's coming on a visit. And then Matt Sieg honored today, Amit. So a guy that's already committed, Matt Sieg, was honored today as the National High School Player of the Year, according to some publication. I mean, look at these stats of his high school career. 12,592 offensive yards. He's the all-time WPIAL leader. He had almost 8,000 yards rushing on 842 carries. He had 4,634 passing yards and 59 touchdowns. Had 118 total touchdowns, and he ran a 4.42 40-yard dash. So he's recruited as a safety, but Rich Rodriguez said he could be playing. There's a good chance he could be playing both wings. He was originally committed to Penn State, 4-star. I mean, I'm going to show his highlights real quick, and then we're going to talk about Matt Sieg real quick.
Awesome.
So this is off of the West Virginia page. You can see here, this is him playing safety, and boom. I got a feeling this kid's going to find himself on the field next year in some capacity.
He might be one of the guys I'm most looking forward to watching next year, to be honest. I mean, he just seems like a pure athlete.
Yeah, I know he played at a smaller WPIAL school, but Western Pennsylvania football is really strong. So I know it's not like the biggest school in Pennsylvania, but numbers don't lie. I mean, you can only do what is in front of you, and I think we're going to be like Utah with the number of guys that we play both sides of the ball. I think this guy's going to be one of them. So Matt Sieg. Congratulations to him, National High School Player of the Year. I'm not sure what publication that was. Nathan Brooks said, the way the portal works, I worry about 2027 being our year and not 2026. Yeah, who knows? One year at a time. You never know what the portal. You never know what's going to happen. But I think good days are ahead for West Virginia. All right, we talked about this. We'll keep this one simple. Ben Bogle hits the portal, and I think we now know why, right? They're recruiting a bunch of guys. They just brought in Malachi Hood. writing might have been on the wall for him. Not sure where Ben Bogle goes. I liked him. He was on one of my top 10 players to retain this year. I thought he played well, but at the same time, he's very replaceable. Amit, any thoughts on Ben Bogle?
Yeah, no, he's a good player. I liked watching him. I think he did some great things this year as well, and definitely made an impact. So wish him well, wish him all the best, and just gotta move on.
Drumwolf, let's go Mountaineers, indeed, buddy. How about that win from the basketball team today? That was a very good win from West Virginia Hoops. And then finishing up here, JerseyEER White. We were talking about the glory days, and this guy's been an NFL journeyman, man. He's had a really solid career. And if you would have told me out of all the White brothers, which one would have had the longest career, JerseyEER White probably wouldn't have been my bet. But he was a very solid, underrated player for West Virginia. Amit, he's going to the playoffs, and he's going to provide depth to the San Francisco 49ers.
Yeah, loved watching JerseyEER White. Very talented guy, and the whole White family, honestly, just was so exciting to watch. So yeah, wish him the best. He's been in the NFL for some time now, so kudos to him, and wish him well in the playoffs.
Yeah, JerseyEER White, man. I mean, Karan White, another underrated Mountaineer. Karan White was a really great receiver for Will Grier and Skylar Howard. It was that bridge between the two quarterbacks. So congratulations to JerseyEER White. Congratulations to guys like David Sills that have worked through being on and off practice squads. And like JerseyEER White's barely played this year. I think he has 2 tackles on the season. So the fact that he's going to have a chance to be on a roster for the playoffs, that just means what type of player he is. And I think, with these guys too, it just means more with these guys because they were here for West Virginia is their only team they played for. I know he played for Lackawanna Community College. That doesn't count. His only Power 4 football, his only Division I football was with West Virginia. So he identifies as a West Virginia Mountaineer through and through, and he's truly one of our guys. So, and the fact that all of the White brothers all chose to go here, I think just speaks volume of how they feel about West Virginia. So to see JerseyEER White representing us and going to the playoffs is definitely exciting. And then last thing, he's not the only one going to the playoffs, guys. You can see here this week, Zach Frazier, who's been killing it and representing West Virginia as an in-state kid, and we're all proud of him. He's going to be going with the Steelers, which was a very close game. They almost didn't make it, but they're going to play the Texans. Wyatt Milam, another in-state kid, from the hills of West Virginia to the NFL. That's exciting. Same thing with Doug Nestor and Colton McKivitz, and Brinkman. Congratulations to these guys. They deserve it. Hopefully one of them hoist a Lombardi trophy. I could say that because none of them are on the Philadelphia Eagles.
True.
That was the hard part. I remember the one year we had a bunch of guys get drafted by the Philadelphia Eagles, which was tough. I think Rasul Douglas got picked up, Wendell Smallwood, and Shelton Gibson. There was 3 West Virginia guys that got drafted by the Philadelphia Eagles, and I think like Shelton Gibson won a ring with the Eagles, and I'm not sure if Rasul was on that team, but I know Shelton definitely was, and I think Smallwood might have been. They won rings with the Eagles, so I'm happy that they won. I'm happy for them, but I hate the Eagles so much. I'm not a Philly guy, so that was a tough pill to swallow. All right, let's see if there's any last comments in here. Again, guys, please remember to like and subscribe to the show if you haven't done so. I just want to shout you guys out real quick. Me and Amit, we just passed 600 subs today. It was very quick, very quick. I think I gained like 75 subs this week alone. It's just kind of blowing up out of nowhere. So I really appreciate you guys passing it to people, those who super chatted and really growing this thing. It means a lot to me. So thank you so much for those who have done that. All right, last things. Let's look at some comments and then we'll head out of here. Just seen on X that Cam Griffin is at WVU. That's the kid that's from Jacksonville State, right? That offensive lineman,
Yeah.
Cam Griffin. He's a nice player, so that was exciting. I saw the other dude, the Bubba dude from Jack State, retweeted on his Instagram when Cam Cook committed today. So that could be a good sign. I mean, Trickett's there. You blocked for this guy. I got to think that some Jack State guys are going to be coming. Yeah, Sam said yes. Yeah, Griffin, Jack State guy, I figured. Drumwolf said, hopefully the 49ers beat the Eagles. I agree. Listen, man, I teach on the border. I live on the border of Pennsylvania and Jersey. So I teach 4th grade, and a lot of the kids are Eagle fans. I've brainwashed some Giant fans too here and there, but the Eagle fans let me hear it when the Eagles win. So the quicker they're out of the playoffs, the better. Drumwolf said crazy comeback, back and forth game tonight. Classic Cincinnati and WVU for sure. It's good to rekindle that old Big East rivalry. Drumwolf. I think truly, if we don't have a rival on rivalry week, Cincinnati and West Virginia should be circled into that week to give us fans something to look forward to. Trey Edwards said, keep up the work, Jersey. I will. I'll do as best I can. Eventually, I'm going to need a break for a day. I told him that this is like becoming pretty crazy. So one of these days I'll take a break. But right now I feel like I can't because there's so much news that's breaking. And this guy said, Kuz mentioned you a couple of days ago. So glad it seems like good content. Yeah, thank you. Kuz, I mentioned him yesterday, guys. I can't thank Kuz enough for his endorsement of me yesterday. It really means a lot coming from him. He's super professional, and this isn't a profession, really. I mean, for me, this is a guy in Jersey that likes to have fun and talk about his team. I'm not an insider. I'm not a guy that's going to break news or pretend to be a guy like that. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come here and try to give you guys an entertaining show and give my thoughts on the team. But by no means am I an insider. And Kuz is a guy that's a YouTube guy, but he really holds himself accountable and is professional. I think that's why the fans really like him so much. So the fact that he gave me an endorsement does mean a lot. And I know you guys like him, so I appreciate him. So thank you for coming out. He said 1.5 weeks, man. After that, we will get a sigh of relief. Yeah, it's crazy. I feel like I told the wife, I'm like, listen, right now the portal is nuts. And then after the portal breaks, I'll take like a small break. But right now, like today, today I was on my lunch break, right? I was like noon. I'm like, there's no news tonight. I'm like, maybe we'll do a show, be easy, it'll be done. And then boom, Epps commits, Cook commits. Another kid commits. There'll probably be another guy that commits 2 minutes after we get off of here. Yeah. It's nonstop. And then someone will enter the portal. It's nuts. It's fun though. It's fun to do.
There needs to be an app where you just get like updates, you know what I mean? Like notifications and stuff like that, at least for like a lot of the main guys.
Wes King. So WVU Scoop. Wes King is the dude. Yeah. So I'm glad you mentioned him. He's, I think he was on a visit or he's interested in West Virginia. He's the guy from Wyoming that hasn't given up a sack in 3 years. I would absolutely love to have that guy in the fold. Not sure what the deal is with him. Yeah, Wes King. So I don't know. Check in on Twitter. Like I said, I'm not an insider, so I have no idea. I know as much as you guys do. I react to the news like you guys do, and we talk about it together. That's what we do here. I'm not an insider, unfortunately. Maybe in another lifetime. Maybe if I left teaching and got my journalism pass down there. Me and Amit used to be journalism guys, though. Me and Amit, we used to work at, I worked at U92. He was at the Daily Athenaeum. So I do have a journalism degree from West Virginia. So does Amit, as we mentioned. So we do know how to do it. But we also are dudes that have lives in Jersey I have a family. Amit is busy. So, you guys know as much as I do basically right now, we need the club linebacker, Tyler Slowski or Slowski. Yeah, we need him. He would be awesome. I think he'd be a fan favorite. I thought that's who we're going to get today. Yeah. After Bogle hit the portal. Added some talented linebackers last 2 days. Yeah, we did. Hopefully we can keep coming. Just keep adding the commits. Like I said, guys, my thoughts on the team so far is I think there's some exciting players. And I just think that from the highlights that we've seen, you guys are going to see gritty guys that are hard edge that I think this year's team, like last year they talked about hard edge. I think this year we're actually going to see it on the field. I truly believe that this year. I mean, any parting words for the people? Whether you're watching in West Virginia, New Jersey, wherever you are, any parting words for those people, Amit?
No, just thank everybody for watching. We're obviously gaining a lot of momentum here, so very fun to see. And then big win for the hoops team tonight. I thought it was a gritty win and one they needed to have. So kudos to them. Squeaked it out and fun one Saturday against Kansas. Yeah,
enjoy that game, Kansas game. Like I said, me and Amit are gonna put out a video tomorrow. Most likely, it's gonna be a college football semi playoff preview. So it's not going to be like totally West Virginia based. So don't get mad at us that we're going to talk about some other teams. But we'll talk about that. We'll try to put some West Virginia ties to it. And we'll probably, if there is breaking news of players, we'll touch on that too. Might even talk about the New York Football Giants a bit real quick before we get off. John Harbaugh, the next coach of the Giants?
I imagine he's going to be the favorite. I would be surprised if they don't go that route.
If they,
It's him or Stefanski. I mean, I'd be surprised if it's not one of those two guys, but who knows?
I felt like the loser of the Ravens Steelers there tonight was going to be our 100%.
Coach.
Yeah. So for me, if it's not Harbaugh, I'm going to be disappointed now, and that's not fair to Stefanski, but I want Harbaugh.
You have to. I mean, he has to. He's emerged as a favorite for sure, not only for the Giants, maybe for a couple other teams as well. So.
You guys don't understand. I mean, some of you do if you are Giant fans, but it's been rough. Some of these weekends. Some of the weekends, like my students, are like, "How was your weekend, Mr. Horak?" I'm like, the Giants lost their 8th game in a row, and then West Virginia, they got beat by UCF like 49. So it's been a rough few years for us. So hopefully they can.
The future is bright though. Dart, Scattergoo and Neighbors. If they all stay healthy, everybody watch out.
Listen, the future is bright. Listen, maybe that could be another topic for another day. Which future is brighter, the Giants or West Virginia? West Virginia still needs to sign some guys in the class. I wonder where we are portal wise. Like, what are we ranked in the portal right now? I'll have to look on that for the next episode. What On3 or 24/7 has us? Anyway, we're rambling. All right, guys. Listen, I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you so much again. Pass it to the friends that haven't seen JerseyEER yet. Definitely spread the word. Like I said, we're gaining like crazy. Definitely remember to like and subscribe to the show. We'll talk to you guys next time.